Okay, well, here is the bed with all of the Christmas decorations on it, minus the Christmas tree ornaments, and the lights that are still on outside. And as I look through what we have, there's not a lot that I want to necessarily get rid of. A couple things were given to us that aren't really our style, which is funny because our style is quite the mix of very classic Christmassy things, like that, and then kind of newer styles with like this cute Christmas village. So I don't know, I like what I like. I really like classic Christmas, but I also really like bright colors. So as of right now, I'm kind of doing both, and I still like the way my house looks at Christmas time, and it feels really good. So I'm not trying to win any decor awards. We just like what we like. And yeah, we keep these things like my husband made with the kids 2 years ago, and we've saved them so that we can hang them up together, because it's adorable and they have good memories with the kids. So for right now, while they're little, yeah, we'll still hang it up because it makes them happy and it makes us happy. I'm not of the opinion that you should get all new Christmas or holiday decor every year. I think that's ridiculous. And I think that takes so much nostalgia out of it that is like devastating. And I do think that's like part of the good feelings of Christmas time and this time of year with everyone's holidays, not just Christmas, that we have family traditions, we have things that we love, and it's really like a bonding experience to bring those out every year and kind of review those special memories with your family. And because of that, your stuff's gonna clash. Your style changes year to year. The things that you liked when you were like a young parent versus things that you like as you get a little bit older are gonna be a lot different. Like my mom still has stuff from the 70s that she puts out that I'm just like, that is not something I would pick, Mom, but she loves it and she puts it up, and I think that's great, and I think that's part of the magic of it all. All that to say, again, I'm not interested in being like the top Pinterest board or Instagram decor account. I just want my home to feel cozy and nostalgic and lovey and all of it when I decorate for the holidays. It's not about what other people think about my decorations, it's how I feel about it, and I feel pretty good about what we have. That being said, there are things that people give us that aren't really our style, as varied as our style is. But I guess the better way to say it, it's not something that I would have bought myself. Sometimes people buy me things that I wouldn't have bought myself that I think are adorable. Like this for my mom. I wouldn't have bought it myself, but I do think it's cute. My husband does not, but I think it's cute, and it's really cute on the shelves, like on our cabinet uppers in the kitchen. So yeah, there are some things that I'll look through. I think there's really only 1 or 2 things this year that people gave us that we're not going to keep. We have all these wreath hangers because we are in a condo and don't have a fireplace or mantle, but we do have like a 2-door utility closet in our kitchen. So we hang these over the utility closet door since those doors never get opened. So I will leave this one out because it's like a pretty bronze that I like, and I'll use that for other holidays because I do occasionally hang a wreath on the inside of my home. And then there's one on the front door. So I'll set this one aside to put in just with our home decor stuff, and then these ones will go in the Christmas bucket. Also, these trees are super cute. My mom got them for my girls because they fight over everything, so she got one for each of them, and they just have different things you can put on. This year, though, when I brought them out, they decorated them, put them up in the hallway, and then never touched them again. So I'm going to talk to the girls today to see if they care if we go down to just having one, because we don't really need to. And we'll see if somebody else, like one of my friends, wants this, because it is super cute and fun to have out. And like many people, having all of my Christmas decorations out makes you really realize that you still have quite a bit to declutter. So I've been going through my house as I've been gathering the Christmas decorations and just snagging stuff that I'm like, I don't need that anymore. So let's take a look at what I'm decluttering so far. All right, we have cookbooks, a bunch of them actually, and magazines. There they go. I like cookbooks. I think they're fun. I actually just picked one up at the library yesterday. But I also realized pretty well which ones I'm not using. I got rid of a bunch over the last year, just different ones people gave me, but for whatever reason, I hung on to these ones. So these were just magazines that like my mother-in-law had gotten and then was done with them, so she gave them to me. They're all fine, like good stuff in them, but a lot of them are a lot more complex than I'm going to eat. or going to make. I would eat them if somebody made them for me, but at this point in my life, there's just not time to do all of them. So I'm ready to get rid of these and just take them to the donation place because they're good magazines if people are going to use them. This cookbook, this cookbook, this cookbook, and this cookbook were all ones my mother-in-law gave to me that she was clearing out from her stash of cookbooks. And I looked through them and I thought maybe I'd use some, but it's been a while and I'm not making them. I don't need a whole, I just don't need these. And I'm just not. I looked through some of them, and if I was gonna make them, I would have done it by now. My kids actually are obsessed with this book. It's so gross, and that's so gross. They love looking through this at the pictures, and we have made a couple of them, and they're fine, but overall, my kids are not gonna eat this stuff because they're super picky. I mean, I get what they're going for there, but that looks disgusting, and my kids would not eat that at all. Yeah, we've made a couple things that were tasty, but overall, it's just not gonna happen. So I told my kids today, I was like, guys, how about we get rid of this and then buy one that's more recently made. This is like, I think 96, 2000, oh, 2006. So, you know, 27 years old, is that right? No, not 27, like 17 years old. It's pretty old. So we're gonna find a more updated cookbook that hopefully my kids will actually eat the food from and not just ogle the pictures. It's pretty cute to watch them with this, but if they're not gonna eat it, then there's no point in me keeping it in the house. And this one, I actually think I got this when I got my crock pot. This was, it was a gift, and this was with it. And I have made some recipes out of it, just not a lot. And I don't like eating that much meat, so a lot of it is meat. So I don't know, it's just time to get rid of it. I'm not making anything out of it. I thought if I kept it the last time I did a purge of my cookbooks, then maybe I would start using it, but I haven't, not a single one. So this is a goodbye for now. Well, not for now, forever. It's a goodbye forever. I'll look up these recipes online if I really need them. We've got Body Boss. These are actually like a workout system thing that I got. It's fine. I just have tendonitis in my wrists, and there's a lot of plank positions in here. So it doesn't really work for me because it hurts. And so, I mean, I just have a Beachbody subscription for at-home workouts anyways. So this was good intentions. I really like exercising. I work out a lot, but this one just doesn't work for me because of the nature of having to press my wrists down, because it really triggers my tendonitis, and that doesn't feel good. It really doesn't. And these are a couple history books that we're just done with, so we'll get rid of them. And we have more kids' clothes that we've come across, a tumbler from my new dentist as a welcome to the dentist gift that I'm not going to use. And then in here is just a glass that somebody gave my husband that had some candies in it from work. So it's like a very holiday themed thing. We don't need it. We have plenty of cups. So we're going to say goodbye to that too. And I actually just tried on some pre-pregnancy pants, and they fit. That's exciting. But I also don't like the way they look on me. They're not very cute jeans. So I'm just gonna get rid of them. I'm trying to remind myself that I don't have to wear clothes just because they fit. Like, I'm worth going out and buying clothes that fit me and look good on me. I just don't think these are like particularly flattering. So I'm just gonna get rid of them. But hey, I fit in some I fit again into pre-pregnancy clothes, which is always exciting. I've been working hard on that this year. I also tried on these black ones again, and these fit wonderfully, and they're very comfortable. But they also, and I won't show, have some unsalvageable, unpatchable holes in them. I don't know why I didn't throw them away before. So this is just a good reminder to me to go back to Maurice's and buy some black jeans again, because I like these. So after throwing away the jeans that are too damaged to give away and donate, this is what I grabbed out of my closet and drawers that I am getting rid of now. So empty your drawers, happier Katie. And I found more books that I'm not reading or using, so we are going to get rid of them. Kids are in bed now, so I am taking the tree down. Look, this was the one we got at Disneyland this year. It's so cute. It's enormous. My 7-year-old picked it out. It wasn't my first choice, but it's pretty. It's kind of fun to have just this giant ornament on the tree. But I love having the tree up, so it's kind of sad to see it go. But my kids are still a little overstimulated, so we're gonna finish taking down Christmas and help them out a little bit with that. All right, bye-bye Christmas stuff. This is our 2 bins of Christmas. We do have one bin where we put all of our holiday lights in, because some of them we can reuse for more than one holiday. But as far as Christmas decorations go, we've got 2, and I feel pretty good about that. Okay, so I'm on day 2. The first day we did some decluttering and putting away the Christmas stuff. And today I've done more decluttering and a little bit of cooking. Okay, first of all, my new bedding came. Very happy about this. I have wanted a new comforter for a long time because we've had the same one since my 7-year-old was probably like 6 months old. So it's definitely time for an update. And I've just been wanting to update our room, like those curtains. I think we're in one of my kids' rooms and we just needed to switch some stuff around, so we brought them in here. So it doesn't match anything. So I'd like to get some new curtains soon-ish, but I really wanted new bedding. So got this pretty blanket here and some matching pillowcases. You can see where the pom-poms have been destroyed by my children. So I can make a pillow cover for it now and it'll be okay. But I'm excited to really make my room something that I enjoy being in, and that just reflects my style, I guess, as it has grown and developed since getting married and having my own home and all of this stuff. I was able to get this with Christmas money from my in-laws, so I was just waiting. I knew they would give me money for Christmas because they always do, so I'd been researching blankets for a long time that were like not ridiculously expensive, because holy cow. And for good reason, because last night I put this on the bed during the day, and last night I walked in to go to bed and I saw the corner on one of them, there was blood on it, and I was like, Ryan, were you bleeding? And sure enough, there was a cut on his hand and he bled on the brand new blanket that we just got, but I was able to get it out pretty easily actually. But I was just like, you've got to be freaking kidding me. But what can you do? And today I really have been going through the house even more, just looking for things that we don't need, that we can get by without. I got my kids involved, took them into their room, had them go through their stuffed animals, which they very rarely are willing to get rid of some. And today I told them, I was like, I'm not gonna make you get rid of anything. I was like, I just want you to see what you have and know that it's there. And remember that it's there, and remember that you wanna play with it. So they went through, everything was special still. They did get rid of 2 stuffed animals, so that was exciting. And I told them, though, I was like, okay, they both, as they put them, like, wow, that basket's really full, like overflowingly full. And I was like, you're right. So what does that mean, girls? And they're just like, I said, it means we're not getting any more stuffies for a very long time until you're willing to get rid of some other ones, because this is too much, right? And they're both like, yeah. So we'll see. They pretty much ask Santa for a stuffy every year, which I am okay with that being a Santa gift. And we're happy to help that one along. But we have too much. I also went through the kitchen and found some things we're not using anymore. So let's take a look. So we've got a couple stuffed animals, a slipper, and a hat. And I think I meant to get rid of this a couple of declutters ago, and it must have fallen out, but we're ready to get rid of it now. Anyways, so adios, toys. Okay, from the kitchen, a mini muffin tin. I actually really like mini muffin tins and use them a lot. My husband just got me a silicone set a while ago, and that is what I pretty much always reach for. And we are getting pretty full in our pans, so we'll just let it go because it's all right. My husband got this cup from, I guess this company came to his work, so we don't really need it. This is just a cover for my daughter's water bottle that she never uses. I went through our cookie cutters. I still haven't even made our cookies that we were planning on, our sugar cookies, the cutout ones for this year. So I was like, well, I'll always go through cookie cutters and get rid of the ones that we don't use or that are just kind of annoying. So I got rid of like the small ones. Like these are pretty tiny. So I kept some of the other smaller ones in better shapes. And we'll just say goodbye to these. We also just have some Tupperware. Our Tupperware container is getting kind of full. our cupboard, I should say, is getting kind of full. So those are the ones I like less than the other ones. And I figure if I need more, I just need to wash my dishes or get my leftovers more. We also have this box cutter, which is a fine cheese grater. Not really, I called it a box cutter. It's a box grater. It's got a little catcher thing there. My husband a while ago, a couple years ago, really wanted like a rotary cutter, and it works amazing. I won't lie. It's pretty nice. And I didn't know that this was still in our cupboard, so I found it in the bottom of our cupboard. So it's time for that to say goodbye too. So I'm looking forward to getting rid of more stuff. And I'm always surprised, and I shouldn't be, but I'm always surprised at how quickly I can find a ton of stuff to get rid of. Even though it feels like I've gone through these parts of my home a million times. You know, there's some days where I'm just like, you know, those books over there, I've had them forever, still haven't read them. I've got other things I'm reading, not a priority. Let's just say goodbye and get rid of stuff. Like, my priority is more to have a clear home and better mental health from a clear home than it is to read books that I haven't read for 10 years. So very happy about this. And I forgot, I had this ribbon in my Christmas box, and we used to wrap this around our Christmas tree, though it never really quite fit how I wanted it, and I didn't really know how to do it well. So we haven't used it for several years, and it's very pretty, but also I'm not using it. So we'll say goodbye to this too, and somebody else can have a great thrift store deal on some ribbon. And playing in the room with the baby, I found all this more to get rid of, including a billion of those things. It ended up being like 2 sets that we just combined into one box. But they're done with it now. They told me. I'm very excited to get rid of it now. Takes up a lot of space. Okay, the baby commandeered this one back. So I forgot we do put this in a backpack to take with us places. But because it was buried under other things, we haven't done it in a while. So we'll hang on to this again. He seemed pretty happy to see it again. And we'll remember to take it with us places again. And because we're on a roll, I found some art supplies that can go bye-bye. I hate Play-Doh, and my kids didn't know it was there. But we threw away the toys that came with these color washable markers. We have many, many of these, and these are all dried out. These paint pens are super cute, but my kids destroyed them. And then just some loose eyeballs that we're not gonna use. So, goodbye. And since we got rid of our queen air mattress in the last one, we can get rid of our queen sheets because we don't have anything for them to go on. And I might as well get rid of towels that are many years old. And since I was in my closet, I decided to look through my craft stuff, and I found a baggie full of brads and eyelets and jewels and a whole bunch of scrapbooking stuff I'm never going to use again, so this is going to go. During my first 2 years of college, I worked at a scrapbook store, and it was so much fun. It was one of the best jobs I've ever had. We always joked that it was like a daytime slumber party. So I acquired a lot of stuff that I just don't use anymore. So time to let it go. It may not look it, but I'm getting rid of a ton of stuff in the back of my van, but not the stroller. We use that a lot. Now that Christmas stuff is put away and we got another big decluttering session in, now's a really good time to focus on this new year we have and what I'm really hoping to get out of it. So last year at New Year's, I had just had a baby, my 3rd baby, so it was a little crazy. And that first week was the end of my maternity leave, so I was going back to full-time work. It was a little nuts, so my goal was to survive. We did. Good job, Katie. The years before that, I had kind of done the whole like theme word thing for I think 2 or 3 years before that. This year, however, I kind of have a mix of my like goal setting styles. So I have a few specific goals related to frugal living and what I'm hoping to accomplish in that area of my life this year. And then I have some more hippie, I guess you could say hippie-like goal styles for my home. So I've been thinking a lot more along the lines of what kind of vibe, feelings do I want to have when I'm in my home and when other people are in my home. Because it's not just about me. I'm not the only one that lives here. This needs to have good feelings and be a good place for my husband, our children, people that we invite into our home. And so really just thinking about how do I want just the overall feel when anybody comes into our home to be. So what do I want my home to feel like when I come in it? I want it to feel relaxed, comforting, welcoming, calm, and fun. And even though I feel like we try to do that right now. I know we can be more intentional about it with how we decorate, with what we're doing while we're in the home. So that's something that I want to focus on a lot more. And I know it sounds kind of funny to think like, what do I want my home to smell like? But if you're like me, if you have seemingly permanent smell issues because of said virus, smell has become a big deal. If you don't know, I dealt with parosmia after having COVID. And that is where, well, anosmia is when you lose your smell, and parosmia is when your smell comes back distorted and everything smells like a rotting carcass. That has been super fun. Now, my smell is like 95% better. My taste is about back to normal, just a couple random things that don't taste normal. The smell is back. Good smells are pretty faint. There are still some bad smells. Not nearly as life-altering as it was for the first year of it, which I can't believe we've just hit year 2 of me having smell issues. So the smell has become really important to me. So when I think of what I want my home to smell like, I want it to smell calm. Does that make sense? I don't want it to have like a funky smell that makes me crazy, and fresh. And I want it to smell comforting and like homemade food and bread. And I know that's silly, but like I really can't explain to you adequately how much smell has impacted my mental health over the last 2 years. And it's made a difference in how I parent my kids too. That when they're really, really overwhelmed, I grab a candle, I don't light it, I just like put it in front of their face, I'm like, just smell this please. And no joke, the good smells in my kid's face makes a huge difference, especially when they're like so dysregulated that they don't want to try breathing. They don't want me to scratch their back. They don't want to do anything that would help them calm it on down a little bit. When I give them a candle, every time they're willing to smell it. And you can just see their whole body go, and it's amazing. Like, I did not know the power of smell until I lost mine, and then it came back like a dang rotting carcass. So, good smells in the house. And what do I want my home to look like? Now, as far as like style, I'm still not quite sure. I'm not an interior designer, and I did not grow up with one. So that's actually something that's kind of hard for me. But what I mean by like, what does my house look like? I want it to look uncluttered. It's gonna be messy. I've got 3 kids and 2 adults. It's gonna have messes, but I want it to look like it's gonna be easy to clean up, that there's not just stuff everywhere. So I want it to look uncluttered, easy to pick up, and just nice. What it really comes down to is I want my home to feel like a refuge from the world, that we can come in, know that we're welcomed, wanted, we can be ourselves, and we can goof around together and have a good time. And I think that's possible in any home. It doesn't have to be a big home. It doesn't have to be a fancy home. You don't have to own the home. You can be renters. You can have a backyard, not have a backyard. I really want a backyard. But you can do that with anything. And it's just how intentional you are with creating that space. I can attest that it's harder to do that and to create that feeling when your house is crazy. I grew up in kind of a crazy house, and I think really if our surroundings had been a little calmer and less of them, that it would have felt less crazy in many ways. And so I'm just continuing to work on creating that for my own children. So in order to do that, we'll continue on our minimalist-ish journey. Okay, now that we've got the hippie goals out of the way, I do have a few specific, like, detailed goals related to our frugal living goals that we have for ourselves. I want to plan our shopping better, whether that's food or clothes or household stuff or whatever. I'm really working to streamline our shopping so that we're at the stores less and we're spending less, because it's really easy just to pick up a few things when you go to pick up one thing that you forgot to put on your grocery list. So that is a big goal of mine this year, is to streamline and plan better so that we're just in the store less. I put in my budget that we spend like $550 a month on groceries, but then we also spend like $150 to $200 a month at Costco, which is like a separate budget for me. But a lot of that is food. So I'm really going to work so that this year we can get our grocery budget, like the entirety of the food that we spend, to $600 a month. And I think it'll be a stretch, but we're gonna do it. I'm also really planning on being a lot more intentional with following like the 1 in, 1 out rule. As we've been decluttering and I see so much duplicates of things. I really just need to practice, like, we get this thing, we get rid of something similar that we don't need. So for Christmas, I wanted a wooden spoon because we don't have any, and I just kind of wanted one, kind of wanted to start replacing some of the plastic stuff that we have. So when I got this, I got rid of 2 little plastic spatulas that I've been using for a long time that are probably like peeling off plastic into my food. So as I start to replace things in my home with like nicer versions of the stuff I want, then I need to make sure to get rid of the junkier versions of stuff, or just the extras, even if they're not junky. So we will be more closely following a 1 in, 1 out rule in our home this year. And my biggest goal of 2023 is to move. We've been in our condo for 5 years. We don't own it. We have the most wonderful landlords I could have ever imagined asking for in the world. They are fantastic. I just love them. I hope when I'm a homeowner, I can still text and be like, how do I do this? Because they're just wonderful people. That being said, we're really sick of living in a condo. I really want to have a backyard while my kids are young enough to want to be out back without me forcing them. And really, Utah's kind of a catch-22 for us. Neither one of us makes enough money to live off of one income. And so the price of having 3 kids in daycare for us to have the good income that we have, it's astronomical. We pay $630 a week in daycare, which, like, even just saying that, like, hurts. So it's just not sustainable. We're having to use savings now to pay for a more expensive daycare because the ones that were more affordable weren't safe. And it's really hard to be in that position. We've saved money. We've saved a good amount of money for a down payment for a house, and now we're watching those savings dwindle to make sure that our kids are safe in childcare. And it stinks, and it's not an easy position to be in. It's not fun to have to move away from their family and friends. But we want to buy a home, and we want to not have to live off government benefits to do it. And so that's our big goal for the year. We want to move, and I'm excited for that. We tried to do it last year, but with like the timing of the economy, it just didn't seem like a very financially smart move to stop me working at that point and lose more than half of our income. So that's it. That's our big goal for the year, is to move so that we can start making even bigger financial moves for us and preparing better for retirement and our kids' college futures and all of that. So that's a big one, and we really, 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 really hope that it happens, and we're going to work to make it happen. That's what I'm focusing on in my home and my frugal living goals for 2023, and I'm excited to see where it takes us. So I would love to know what goals you have going into 2023, whether it's like financial or home or whatever. You want to say hi to every person you come in contact with? Do it. That's a great goal. You'd be super nice if you did that. But yeah, whatever it is, I would love to hear it, and I wish you well in those goals. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. I'd love to have you continue to follow along as we continue on this journey for frugal living and becoming more minimalists. I don't know that I'll ever be a minimalist, but we can be minimalish. Minimalish? That's the one. Thanks again, and I will see you in my next video.